If you are dating a single mother or if you're seriously considering it, I need to hit you with something pretty real right now, okay? Thousands of men are walking straight into a nightmare that they don't even see coming. They think that they're becoming the man of the house. They think that they're building a future. And then the reality kicks in. You're expected to provide the money. You're expected to provide and support her kids. You're expected to sacrifice years of your life. But the moment that you try to lead the family, the moment that you put your foot down, you find out that you have zero authority. You carry all the responsibility, but you get none of the power. This is the stepfather trap. And today, we're going to rip that bandage right off, okay? We are going to look into the real biology, the hidden financial costs, the authority vacuum, and the exact reason that most men end up broken, broke, and blamed in these situations. If you're already in it, this video will explain probably exactly what you're feeling. And if you're thinking about entering it, this could save you years of your life. So stay with me. This is not an attack on single mothers, by the way, okay? Most of you guys are there grinding through incredibly hard situations. This is about the system that you're walking into. And here's a number that should make you stop cold. 65%. That is the average divorce rate for second marriages involving stepchildren. First marriage is already around, 55%. Adding stepchildren cranks that failure rate up by another 20 to 30%. This is not a communication issue, guys. And this is not you just don't love enough. No, that is not what I'm saying. This is a built-in structural disaster from the get-go. The data is clear from multiple studies on remarriages, guys. The odds are stacked up against you from day one, and almost nobody tells anybody upfront about this. Nobody gave you the real numbers before you moved in with her or even proposed to her. They fed you the fantasy that if you stepped up enough like a real man, right, and tried hard enough that it would all work out. Society, movies, even friends push this hero narrative. You may already be deep in it and wondering why everything feels wrong every single day. You are not the problem. The system is rigged against you. Let's get real for a second about what's actually happening inside of your body and hers. A mother's drive to protect her own child is pure biology. She has hormones and brain wiring that it just kicks in automatically the second her child is in need or threatened. That's normal, and we all accept it because it's normal. But that same biological programming works directly against you, the man, as the stepfather. Across every culture on Earth, parents invest far more time, money, and emotional energy in their own genetic children. This is not my opinion or moral judgment. It is an evolutionary fact built into humans over hundreds of thousands of years. Genes push resources toward genetic descendants. There is research done by a guy named Kevin Anderson at the University of Mexico, and he proved it with the hard data. Genetic children are 5.5 times more likely to get real financial support for college from their fathers than stepchildren get from stepfathers. This is not a small gap. It's massive. And if, Snorts, you think about it, it's a pretty consistent pattern, especially if you're living it. Your investment in her kids, most of it is mating effort, which is the price that you pay to keep access to her. It is not the same thing as the automatic parental instinct a biological father has. When she starts overriding you, when conflict builds, when the relationship strains, your emotional and financial investment in those kids collapses, you may have already felt yourself pulling back, and you hate yourself for it. Stop. There's nothing wrong with you. You were handed the wrong operating system for the job, my friend. There's this research out there called the Cinderella effect, and that's by Deli and Wilson, which shows that step families are significantly more fragile under stress because you lack that deep biological bond that real fathers have to their real children under pressure. That missing bond makes everything break faster. You are structurally vulnerable, and you need to know it before it destroys you. Here's what they actually expect from you in practice, right? In real time. Provide the money for the house, the food, the school fees, the activities, the medical bills, the vacations, and everything else that comes up, right? Show up for every school event. Drive the kids everywhere. Be emotionally present even when you're exhausted. Model stability. Fix everything in the house that breaks. handle the hard stuff, be a man. You do every single job a father does day after day. But what do you get in return? Zero legal rights over the children and zero real authority in the house. The second you try to enforce one simple rule like, hey, put your phone away, no phone at dinner, and then you get hit with, you're not my dad. And she, the woman you love, immediately steps in and overrides you to protect her child. Again, it's her natural instincts. Her brain does this faster than any calm conversation or agreement that you had before. Why? Because maternal instincts beats. We talked about this every single time. The amygdala fires before the rational part of her brain even remembers your discussion. Then the kid learns that you have really no power here. Then everyone, her, the kids, sometimes even friends and family blame you when you start to pull back and disengage. You've lived this exact hell for years. You've paid most of the bills, showed up to every event, tried to set basic ground rules in your home, right? And every single time, she bent them or overruled you in the moment. You slowly turned into the guy who's just funding the house and had no say in anything important. And then later, she complained that you checked out, but she never admitted that she actually helped build the cage that you're trapped in by undermining you repeatedly. This is the trap. Total responsibility, zero authority, and blame. When you finally break under the weight, no matter what situation you're in, the biological father is always there with you. If he's toxic, he creates endless drama, misses child support payments, badmouths you to the kids, and you just get to absorb it all. You can't stop it without making things worse for her. If he's friendly and cooperative, the kids still prefer him and they show it. You see it every holiday, every school event, every pickup, and you are just inserted into somebody else's life who's already established the family. If he's absent, the kids invent a perfect fantasy version of him in their heads because that is their dad. You lose every comparison to a man who doesn't even exist and never has to deal with them in real life. And if he's passed away, you're competing with a saint. Memory turns him into somebody flawless. You can never win against that. Another man is permanently inside your relationship and your home always. This never goes away. Every single dollar you spend on her children is a dollar ripped out of your own future and your own bloodline. In a normal biological family, your money builds your own genetic legacy. The people who benefit carry your genes. Your interests line up. Here you are bankrolling another man's genetic legacy. That is the reality. Wills and estates, those studies, right, show women regularly direct assets away from second husbands and straight to their kids. This is not evil. It is just pure biology. And it's pretty predictable if you think about it. A mother protecting her primary genetic investment. You pay for the bigger house with extra rooms, endless groceries that the teenagers just eat up. Sports equipment, tutoring, camps, therapy sessions, you name it. All for children who are not yours, and they never will be yours. One day you will run the numbers and realize that you poured years of your life and probably hundreds of thousands of dollars into somebody else's family tree while your own got smaller. A little harsh, right? But stay with me, I promise. The sex and the desire that you felt in the beginning slowly dies. You jumped straight from dating into fully loaded family life with kids, schedules, and ex-boyfriend or ex-baby daddy drama. You never got the years of just the two of you to build a deep history and real intimacy. Her kids are her main mission in life. They always will be. You are the support guy who keeps the machine running, paying the bills, driving, and fixing things. Over time, she stops seeing you as her man and starts seeing you as the reliable utility. The desire turns into routine or nothing at all, and the loneliness hits you hard. This is not because you guys failed as a couple. The structure you are in kills it. Modern culture today, right? Sold you the hero story hard. Real men step up for single mothers. Movies, social media, and friends, they push this narrative nonstop, but they never showed you the 65% divorce rate or the daily grind and the effort that it's going to take to make this work. A lot of men walk right into this because they need to feel needed. The rescuer role feels so powerful, and it gives like clear moral high ground to these guys. You get to be the good guy saving her, right? And the kids from the bad ex. It feels something meaningful in you, right? And it feeds something deep inside of you, especially if you are the type that gets the satisfaction from fixing broken situations. Have you ever been told or thought that you were a fixer? You have to look into this a little bit more. But here is the cold, harsh truth, my friends. Okay, that feeling fades fast. Once the immediate crisis is over, when the emergency passes, you are left holding the bag in a broken system with no real power, no legal rights, and constant undermining. The rescuer high, it turns into resentment because the structure was never built to reward what you're giving. Many men ignore the warning signs because admitting the risks feels like they're not man enough, and that hits you in your ego, right? So you push forward anyway. This is exactly how and why so many of you end up trapped for years. She is carrying heavy damage from her last relationship. That is normal after a breakup with kids involved, but that damage creates anxious or avoidant behavior that gets aimed straight at you. If her ex was unreliable, she is probably going to test you constantly, accusing you of pulling away, even when you're doing everything. She may override your rules because any challenge to her kids feels like the old threat over and over and over again. Sound familiar? If her ex was controlling, she may see your normal attempts at leadership, right, as the start of the same problem. Her maternal protection kicks in even stronger because of the past trauma. You are not just dating her, you are dating her unresolved trauma, her loyalty to her kids, and her fear of repeating the past. This makes consistent support for your authority almost impossible in the heat of the moment, no matter what she promised you during the calm conversations. And can we be real for a second? Most people do not fully heal before jumping into the next relationship. That means her past is actively shaping your present every day. Now we have the kids. They're trapped in what's called a loyalty conflict, okay? Liking you feels like they're betraying their dad. Rejecting you hurts their mom. See how confusing that is? They dump all that pain, confusion, and anger directly onto you. This resistance hits the hardest between ages 9 and 15. Kids are in that stage. They're very sensitive during that stage. And when they're in that range, they're forming their identity and pushing against authority. It's normal. In your situation, you are the safest, weakest target. Their behavior is structural. It's not personal. Very young kids, like under 5, give you a better chance, right? To build that attachment because their brains are still flexible. They're still kids. Adult kids, they bring the receipts, the old resentments, and the inheritance worries, right? And all the long memories. You receive the defiance and testing every day without getting any explanation for it. This wears men down faster than anything else. Don't get me wrong, some situations actually work. I understand that. We are also talking about the rule, not the exception here. Like I said, some situations actually work. She's already proven that she can have kids, that she can be resilient, right? From surviving hard times. Some traditional societies even raise kids with multiple adults helping. That was normal. But guess what? In this situation, a very different man is required. Usually older, financially set, no deep need to be called dad, extreme emotional control, and zero illusions going into what he's about to walk into. He must accept a mentor role without needing full authority. Most men are not that guy. Most get destroyed trying to force a role the system does not allow. These are probably the 3 strongest objections that I hear about this topic. If you truly loved her, you'll love her kids. No, love does not magically create authority, legal rights, or fix the structural failure. Love makes you stay longer while that problem gets worse. Relationships aren't transactions, true, but every long-term relationship needs basic balance. When you give massively more than you get for years, it collapses. Ignoring that fact is how men lose everything. But there are successful step families, yes, but under rare conditions. For example, full maternal backing every single time, the right children's ages, right? Strong financial protection, and the right man with the right mindset. And again, those are exceptions. So don't bet your life on being one of those guys. Answer these questions alone. Be brutally honest with yourself, okay? Do it alone. Number 1, can you actually live with the biological father's permanent presence in your home, your schedule, and life for the next decade or more? Number two, has she proven in real moments under real pressure that she's going to back your authority in front of the kids every single time? Number three, are your money, assets, and future legally protected, or are you just trusting love and good intentions? Number four, does she take real ownership for her part in her last relationship blowing up? Number five, do her kids, the ages of them, match what you can realistically handle day after day without losing your mind? That's a big one. Number six, would you still want her this badly if she needed nothing from you financially or emotionally? And number seven, if in your most exhausted and frustrated moments year after year, can you stay in this role without turning bitter or resentful? Be honest with yourself. If you have lived this, paying the bills with no real say, supporting the kids who fight you, watching the desire die, then getting blamed for pulling away. This culture has no story for you. They only have two characters, right? The hero who stepped up or the villain who couldn't handle it. There's no character for the man who tried hard as hell inside a system designed to use him, chew him up, spit him out. You are not wrong for trying. You are not wrong for walking away. See this situation for exactly what it is. Decide with your eyes wide open. Your time, your money, and your one life are not unlimited. Do not waste them on a role that was never built for you. See you in the next one. Music.